You know what I'm nuts about? Fall. It's my favorite season and has my favorite holiday and brings out the best ingredient on earth. Pumpkin. So imagine how happy I was when Pro Flowers sponsored us and sent us a fall bouquet bursting with the colors I love so much this time of year. The flowers are beautiful, they smell great, and I know from experience they're gonna last a long time. Their best-selling cinnamon cider roses are a great option for a birthday, an anniversary, or any fall occasion, or go with one of the more classic ones like 100 autumn blooms or a dozen autumn roses. Seriously. Stop what you're doing and send a set to your mom or partner. They'll love them. And if you don't have anyone to send them to, let's be crazy this week. Look up a nursing home in your area and send them there with a note asking the receptionist to give it to a resident who doesn't get a lot of visitors. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to send mine to the Cypress at Golden Gate because, man, let's be better to each other. To get 20% off all the bouquets of $29 or more, go to proflowers.com and use my code Greggy at checkout. That's proflowers.com and my code Greggy. Cheeks Jr., what's your topic?
What's up? Okay, so I had 2 topics I was juggling around, and I think I'm going to call audible.
Oh, an audible? Hike?
I want to talk about kids.
Oh.
And just dumb kids, because kids are dumb.
Yeah,
as we
of
all
course,
know.
kids are real
We've
dumb.
heard the Greg Miller stories. I got some stories of my own. And if you change your mind, of course, we know you, but do you guys want kids? Why or why not as well?
God, no.
Especially in like the climate we're in now.
Yeah.
But I mean, kids just, there's just something not right with them. Like
something not right with kids. Right. Okay. Expound.
I say this because
how old are you two for the record?
I'm 20.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I know. You know, I look like I'm 14. But I was an odd kid. Like I was a really like we're cut from the same cloth.
Hell yeah.
But
you peed in a little Dixie cup and threw it on the wall too.
Yeah, I did that. But I did
cried at
weirder
Disneyland
shit
rides.
than that, man. Like I had like a Rolodex of these stories. Like
sure.
When I used to play video games, like this is 3rd grade Mikey, I would get American cheese singles.
Sure.
I had a lamp without a lampshade.
Okay.
And I would just melt them on the lampshade, like on the light bulb.
Oh, directly on the light bulb.
Directly on the light bulb.
While you're playing games.
You don't get
while you're eating them.
Yeah.
So you're warming them up.
Yeah. You melt the cheese.
Huh.
Because when you find out like melted cheese when you're a kid, you're like, fuck,
delicious.
I'll fucking have this every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I did. Mike Doherty had that every day.
Wow. Okay. How long did you do that for? You think?
Probably like a year.
Okay. All right.
What if I was like 7 years? I still do it.
You're like, no. I mean, that's what I had for breakfast before I came over here to do this show.
So it's just what makes kids like, why do they think like that?
Well,
like,
I mean,
they don't know any better.
Exactly. Kids are blank slates, which is the fascinating and terrifying and awesome, horrible thing. It's all wrapped into one, right? Because you point out, right? Like I've only wanted kids now, or I've only known I'm going to have kids now, or whatever, for a year, a little bit, a year, right? Yeah, a little bit more than a year since I met Jen on that first date, where she's like, "Oh, I don't want to have 2 kids," and I'm like, "Yep," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like the same day where I'm going to marry her, I'm like, "Oh, wait, I'm like, I can see myself having kids."
That's a lot to take in one day.
I know, right?
I'm gonna marry this girl. I'm gonna have kids.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a dog I'm gonna get after Portillo. I think I left the oven on 5 years from now. No, but it's the thing of once I did that and I start thinking about how great it's gonna be to have kids with her, I also start thinking about the kind of parent I'm gonna be, and I keep in my head, because I know for a fact it's just because I don't have the experience of raising a child. Obviously, I keep having the rational conversation in my head, right? Of like, what? Stop crying. Like just. Because like I've been around my friends back in Missouri who have multiple kids, and it's literally put on your shoes and the kid melts down. Mm-hmm. And it's like, put on your shoe. We're going to ice cream. Like just put your shoes on. You know what I mean? Like I like to think I'm going to do that literally the entire time of like not lose my cool, not get mad, or just and not play the game. I don't want to play no fucking games with these kids.
Greg Miller don't play no games. I don't
play no goddamn games. I want to explain to them what do A to get B. It's simple. Like don't worry, you know what I mean? Like because I remember what a shit kid I was. Oh, you know what I mean? Of just like this first story that pops in my head is one I haven't told, but it's when my dad took me to go ice skating or whatever, right? And I wasn't having a good time, and I fucking started crying or whatever. And like he put me in a car, and he's like, "Well, just watch these other kids. Like, see how he's keeping his legs." And I was like so angry that I watched the condensation come down on the window, and I was like, I made a story in my head that was the Ecto-1 and Ray and Winston were like doing that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like just fucking listen to me about how to ice skate. I'm trying to help you ice skate. And it's the same thing I'm going to tell my fucking kids about school, too. When they're like, oh, it's so tough. And I'm like, no, I'm going to give you the straight shit I wish somebody had given me. Fucking put aside the 30 minutes and read the chapter.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world they want you to do. But I remember Greg Miller, fucking stupid ass high school kid, was like, I don't read a fucking chapter of this book in honors English. I know there'll be a quiz tomorrow. I don't care. 5 minutes before, try to read the fucking spark notes on it that don't mention what color the ribbon was or whatever. And it's just like,
read the book.
It's so easy. Read the fucking chapter.
Scarlet Letter was a little dull.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I watched the movie and it didn't go well for me, the test either. But that's the problem is like, and there's something too, we've been talking about this recently with the Kind of Funny morning show, that as soon as you make something homework and you have to do it and there's a deadline, it immediately becomes so hard to do. Tim and I love reading comics. Every fucking Tuesday night, we're like, oh, fuck, what was the required reading? Like, I read it Wednesday morning so often. And it's not because I don't want to do it, but when it's like, oh, I download something off Comixology and then read it 2 months later, it's like, oh, no big deal. But suddenly there's an actual timetable to do it. I don't think the rationalization will work, but I'm going to try it.
Everybody does.
How far do you think
I'm from a big family. I'm number 6.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old's the oldest?
Soccer team.
33. So like, but I'm like the closest to me is like 5 years.
Okay.
So like, but all of them have kids, and like all of them try. All of them start out like, oh, I'll be the rational, like, and I'll be like the cool parent, and then like.
Oh, trust me, I'm aware every parent listening to this is laughing hysterically.
Apart. I mean, there's no bigger birth control than being with like I love my nieces, like they're like awesome, but like, man, they're just such a handful. Because like anything, they just come unhinged.
Sure.
Their brains just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like when I was a kid, I think about what a kid I was, like what a dumb kid I was. I'm like, man, I don't even know how to address some of the like stuff that I like did, like as like a parent, like how to go about that, like cheese on light bulb.
Did your parents see the cheese on light bulb move?
No,
okay.
and I told my mom that, and she just shook her head.
Now.
Yeah,
yeah. A lot of people are just hearing this now, but it's just like
a lot of family being
just shaking their
That's
head.
why it smelled
makes
like
a lot
that.
of sense.
That's why those ants were always going to that light bulb. We moved. Never fucking understood.
But I mean, it was like I was obsessed with like Seinfeld in like 5th grade.
Sure.
And like
nothing wrong with that.
No, it's weird. It's weird for like a kid of my age to be obsessed with a 90s sitcom.
Oh, okay. Now I'm caught up with you. Now I'm caught up with you.
I was obsessed with the dictionary. I was an overachiever.
Okay, well, that's one way to do it. Cheese on light bulb. Study for your SATs in 4th grade.
But it's like, I was like, oh, I always want to decorate my room, and like, you know how like they off like.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, they like mention like candies in Seinfeld, like the Junior Mints, just offhandedly. I was like, man, that'd be really cool if like I took candy bar wrappers, like trash, and like hung them on my wall, like like just like pinned on the wall. So like for like 5 years of my life, one wall in my room was just covered in candy bar wrappers.
And these weren't cleaned, right?
No, they were just right there, just pinned right on the wall. And then like when I was a kid, another thing with now that I'm thinking about this, I haven't thought about this in a while. I would kill a spider, and like I hate fucking spiders.
Sure.
Like with all my fucking heart.
Cool Greg hates him too.
I would pin the dead corpse on my wall.
As a sign of the others.
As like a sign to the others.
Sure. See, now that is not weird. My old roommate, Colin, would do that. He'd call me in to kill a spider, and then he'd leave it up as a message to the rest. Yeah. Probably partly for the joke, but also partly to intimidate those spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird fucking kid thing.
Yeah.
How many people
Colin's a grown adult.
Yeah. Well, it's also the same thing of just like, I'm watching I was watching, telling you guys in the car that I was watching horror movie, or I was watching trailers on Amazon Instant Video, and watching like the horror movies and stuff. And just like, man, I remember being a kid. Like we were listening to Halloween music this weekend too, and like Thriller was on, and I remember being terrified of the Thriller music video, but wanting to watch it all the time and be like, how are you? It's the same thing now of like, oh, well, there's no fucking phone videos of these ghosts, so they're not real. Clearly, like, is that gonna cut mustard with my dumb kid? When I'm like, there's no monster in your closet, there's this. And also, will they be dumb enough that they'll think a Ghostbusters poster will protect them like I did? Because I had the real Ghostbusters sign in my room that said, this room's protected by the real Ghostbusters. And I was like, I took that shit to heart. No ghost's going to come here and fuck with me. They know I'm not afraid of them. They know I got Ghostbusters backing me.
So interesting. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just surprised there.
What do you want? You want kids snow bike?
You know, I'm definitely looking to get some kids, Mike Jr., Michelle Jr., you know, we're going to go right down the line. There's going to be a lot of Michaels and Michelles, Michaelas. But, you know, when I think back of dumb kid stories, you guys make me feel confident to tell these stories because you guys
You're in a safe place.
had some dumb stories.
You got some best friends watching. Don't worry.
So I have 2 good stories. I'll try to keep it short. First one.
That's not how this podcast works.
Yeah, it's going to go long. First one would be just an odd one that I think back to myself. Whenever we would have company over, somehow little Mike Howard would find his way into his own bedroom, get into the corner of his closet, and just pee. And I did this multiple times.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, now I look back, I'm like, man, what the hell was that kid doing? You know what I mean? He can't be peeing in the closet. And so, yeah, I would pee in the closet on the regular. Now, this is a little bit further down the line.
Did the parents ever figure this out?
Yes, mom and dad would look at me and be like, what the hell? And just kind of hit me.
Mom and dad, I peed the closet.
I would just pee out the window. I would take the screen out and I would just pee out the window.
Sure.
No one ever
What's
found
wrong
out.
with the toilet?
You know how it
All
is.
3 of you.
We're in a safe
I got
space.
video games playing, man.
Yeah. It's also you're just a kid. Like, what? How does any of this work? And then of like breaking what is clearly an established norm, a rule of society. You're like, yeah. Well, what does happen if I do this? You know what I mean? Like, was it you ever pee in the yard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I mean,
that was always a big
still
deal
do
of
that.
like you're out there like you're barbecuing or whatever, and your dad's like, "Hey, pee on the tree or whatever." Like, oh my god, this
Apparently
is
the
cool.
black guy is the outlier in this whole
Well, this is like the stupid ass in Midwest.
I was in the Midwest.
Oh, okay. Oh, where were you?
Minneapolis.
Oh, well, see, up in this is totally an Illinois thing. You
Oh,
wouldn't know
okay.
anything.
Yeah,
In
a little odd.
Illinois.
No, you're out there in the wild. You know what I mean? It's like camping. What else? No,
the final one, you know, when I think of dumb kid stories and just trying to be rational with them, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, please don't be offended. Don't get mad at me. This is a safe place. I love what I'm going to say. I want to help the people that I hurt. But back in 6th grade, my parents used to leave me and 2 of my best friends at the local YMCA. Now,
No good
this
can
was
come
just
from
like-
this.
No, you do not want to leave your kids
You want to talk about
unattended.
dumb kids?
Exactly.
This is the worst.
So now, bang, here we are each and every day. We're pestering the people at Whole Foods, at Target, doing dumb stuff. So now we've created our own water balloons off of little sauce cups with lids, right? And we're throwing them at each other, having a hell of a time. Well, one day we came across a sleeping homeless person.
Oh no.
And this became, hey, who can hit this guy with a water balloon?
Sure.
And so now, little
Which is really a
Mike-
water
Kids
container.
are so
with some water in it. So now, little Mike was very afraid of all things, right? So let me give you a little setup. It's a giant alleyway, probably 100 yards. My friends would throw him. Mike is already at Whole Foods running for his dear life, hoping that he wasn't going to get caught. Enough chickens come in. Oh, Mike, you're so chicken. You're such a baby.
Yeah.
I said, hold up, boys. I have the best arm out here. Watch what I'm about to do.
Damn.
Handed it to me. Cocked it back. 6th grade Mike proceeds to throw the Tim Tebow pass with his left hand 50 yards. What happens first thing? Bang. The homeless man is hit in the forehead with my water balloon. First thing he does,
Quick pause.
gets up,
Quick pause.
looks around. Tell me.
Has Tim Tebow ever thrown a 50-yard?
In practice. In practice.
Yes.
5-yard shovel pass. 5-yard shovel pass.
So
All right,
now
continue.
I'm running, right? He goes back to sleep. Everybody's like, okay, well, cool. Mike, I'm like, thank God, let's stop right now. Chris Meartons, I'll never forget, biggest smile on his face. He goes, one more, Mike. So I crank it.
Oh my God, you!
And I whip it, right?
fuck.
It bounces. Now it splashes all over his face. Guess what? The homeless gentleman
Has a knife.
was up and he was moving, right?
And he was a former NCAA track star, undercover as a homeless man.
Now, when we get into the thick of the story, we have now run to Whole Foods. I am in their little local eatery area where you
Sure.
can hang out, and I see my friends through the window. The hobo is coming. The hobo is coming. They're screaming. I'm thinking
Yeah,
to
yeah.
myself, oh, it's going down for real, folks.
Yeah.
They get inside. I go, team, I got to use the restroom. I am scared. So I go into the
Is there a
bathroom.
closet in this Whole Foods for Snowbike
I
Mike?
need to pee in this closet. So now I'm in the bathroom doing my thing, little 6th grade Mike, and all I hear is this. Let me in, Mike. I'm like, hey, I got to do my thing, but okay. So I waddle up to the door, let in my friend Chris Meartons. I'm like, what's up, Chris? Like, let me finish what's up. Mind you, I'm not this calm. He's like, the homeless man is here. He's trying to kill us. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let me finish.
I like to imagine you were this calm. Pants around your ankles. You've pinched off this turd. You're like, hey.
So I said, let me finish my business. So we waited a moment, and all we hear is another knock. And I look at Chris. I'm like, it's been a minute.
Oh, God.
Maybe
This
it's
is the-
nobody.
this is the kid
So
thing.
I said, Chris, why don't you crank that door handle just a moment? Let's see what it is. No sooner did you hear that lock detach, bang,
Boom.
the door is wide open. And there he is, holding on to Chris Mertens by the neck. And there I am, backed up into the corner next to the toilet, right? Picture the scene. Whole Foods bathroom, the three of us, and there's a beautiful girl just like Joey Noelle standing outside the door waiting for the women's room. Now you think she might stand up and help these two youngsters, but she doesn't. So now all
like
She's
Joey
like,
Noelle.
so the door is slowly closing. She's like, you made your own bet on this one. I saw you.
So now the homeless man has got Chris Mertens by the neck, right? He's like, did you motherfuckers throw those water balloons at me? And we're doing this. No, sir, no, it wasn't us. I promise it was our friends. They ran the car toys. You tell those motherfuckers that if they throw water balloons at me again, I will drown their head in the effing toilet. So now he's got Chris Mertens' head.
No!
I have just pooped in it, and they're still pooping it. I had not flushed yet. So he has got Chris Mertens. The girl, there's Joey Noelle. I am going
Wow, the door is still open?
I would have hightailed
your
it out of there a
friends.
long ass time ago.
She was gone.
I'm going to
She was
drown
not
your
there for
friends
that.
in the effing toilet if they ever do this again. And I look at Chris Mertens. We run. We're out of there, right? So moral of the story, don't treat people poorly. Don't upset the homeless people because that's not nice. And kids are just plain stupid.
Yeah, we all have those stories, right? Where we're just stupid ass kids. The one I think of, I don't think I've told in the show, but I've mentioned it before. Amboy, Illinois, Jellystone National Park, one of the Yogi Bear campsites we used to go to or whatever. And we went there, me and my two other friends, Mike and Eric, and my parents took us in the RV. And it's like so long and such a weird story that doesn't really have anything to do, but it's just you're an unbalanced, stupid kid. Is that we had gone to, there was this little arcade next to like the, ranger station, but it's just like a convenience store or whatever. And we were playing in there, and there was these older kids who would come in and were kind of bullying us or whatever. And so we had gone over to the other side, and then they came over too, and they weren't like hounding us. It's just we kept running into each other because what the fuck are you gonna do at the Jellystone National Park, fucking touristy camp place? And we went outside, and we had water guns, and I think they might have like taken our water guns from us and just like fucking soaked us. We're like, you know what I mean? But it was this thing where I took it so seriously that we had like our space invaded. And it's like, it is this, because I remember it being daytime when the confrontation happened, and I don't remember the confrontation anymore, but I remember like going down to the river or whatever, and we're catching tadpole, and like seething still about it, and like psyching myself up that this was such a big fucking deal. And my friends were like, it's not really that big of a deal. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's a big deal. And like, we came back and it was nighttime now, towards the ranger station, and the people were there, and I picked up this like giant stick, like this giant like log or driftwood that I wasn't gonna hit this kid with, obviously. I'm not a fucking psychopath. But I walked up trying to scare him, and he was like sitting on a bench, and he wasn't intimidated by me at all. And I hit the bench with the thing, and he didn't flinch or move or anything. And I was like,
I've seen your kid pictures.
I've
Nobody be
played my
intimidated.
cards, I guess, and put it down. And like eventually, like we walked away, and then the real ranger came over and was like, these people hit him with a stick, and I'm like, no, that's not what happened. But it was like, what the hell was? And it was like, it was so nonsensical. But of course we were in trouble that night of like, why are you hitting this? What are you fucking doing, you crazy people? That it was so nonsensical though, and I feel bad about this, and I've never told her. So nonsensical that I then was, that was on a Saturday night, we'll say. Then cut to Monday, and I'm at Grandma Miller's house. No raccoons today, I don't think. But mom's at work, and mom called me from work and was like, hey, just so you know, you could tell me, like, did any of those people touch you guys? And I'm like, what? No, they pinned us down with water guns. But like looking back, you're like, my mother for 48 hours is like, what would drive my son to pick up driftwood and slam it into a bench? And at some point at work, somebody's like, that kid, they molested them. You know what I mean? And like mom's like, oh my God, did I play this all wrong? And she hits me up, and I'm like, no, I'm just a fucking idiot kid. I'm a fucking moron. I don't know what I'm doing. Stupid idiot kids.
Your mom just has an epiphany.
Yeah, that was like when she turned the corner. I was
Yeah.
like, God, my son's stupid. What about you? You got some stuff
So
from?
you said kids.
No,
kids.
I don't want kids.
No kids.
No.
That'll change.
No.
Mike
that-
Jr., Michaela.
And I don't mean to be that guy.
I'm not a coward. I don't back down.
You'll see. You'll see. Cheeks. They all. I remember watching The Family Man. I'm never doing this.
You said kids. Fuck kids. First of all,
what's
I
up,
don't
we
want
got-
to. Yeah. We
Yeah,
got
five.
it. We got it. That's good.
Cool Greg gave you a point too. Cool Greg's all about that fuck kids lifestyle.
Fuck kids mainly because I know my family's genetics. So basically everyone except for me and my brother are kind of violent.
Okay.
And also a little destructive, just like self-destructive and everything. But like even as a kid though, I was an asshole. So up until like maybe like 7 or 8, I was basically like just trying to find new ways to fuck shit up. So me and my brother, we're about what, a year and 10 months apart. And so we would always try to just figure out like, well, we saw something cool on TV. Then like we were really into like martial arts. So like we would just like make like makeshift weapons and just like either like we'd injure ourselves. Like my brother hit me in the face with a metal pipe once.
Jesus.
Or we would be like trying to like jump off of things to do like flying kicks. So like when Power Rangers first came out, I did like a flying kick over my mom's like coffee table. Didn't quite clear it and slammed right through it. Glass table. Shattered the glass. And almost burned the house down.
Okay.
Kicked my brother through a window. Nearly killed my cousins, multiple. And I don't think my temperament can handle that. Like if I come home and like 8 windows are gone, or like I'm on the roof or something, or like my kid's on the roof or something like that. So I don't think I would handle it. Plus, I'm selfish.
What were your parents like? Because that's the other thing. I was watching, I don't know, fail videos or some kind of compilation thing, right? Or like on Reddit. And it was like, these little girls are jumping on the bed and they knock over a lamp and they freak out. And it's like, I'd come home and be like, oh, you knocked over a lamp, don't jump on the bed. Anyways, back to what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like if your parents were going to freak out about it.
So I said I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota for most of my life, but I was born in Natchez, Mississippi. Okay. And that's where my pretty much whole family is. So they're all like deep Southern people. And so very good food. Why? Look, Team Fat. But like they do not like they did not and do not conform to like the PC parenting norms. Like, you give your kids a talking to and stuff like that. No, they're loud. They curse a lot, and actually that's where I got it from. And they, they were like the hitting to teach you. So like every time, like if I got kicked out of the school, like preschool, because for some reason I used to wear like cowboy boots. I used to kick people a lot. I don't know why.
That's what you do with cowboy boots.
That is what you do. That's what I thought.
Shit kicking
you have a point.
I'm gonna use it.
I use it. Putting it to use. Utilities.
Yeah.
And so like they was just like fuck. Now she's just yelling as I'm like going home, or like I'll just get whooped, or maybe I get like double whooped. So like wait till your dad gets home, he'll whoop him too. And then like, so they didn't quite handle it the best, but in hindsight, I kind of see where they were coming from, because like we were like we were fucking shit up. Yeah. And like every other day, like we had to get like threatened to this, like just don't do this, please. And like eventually we learned, but like it was like a good 12 years before we even got it. So I'm not ever going through that. I got 3 nieces.
You scared yourself straight. You're like, I'm never doing that.
I got 3 nieces. And I got another one on the way. My sister is having one in a few weeks, actually. Yeah. And like one of my nieces, she's like basically talks like a 25-year-old, but she's 7 or 8 now. And
I think I've seen her on YouTube.
Yeah, probably. And like, I just don't want the sass either. Like, and my family we have an issue with authority usually. So like, I always question authority. My parents always question authority. My nieces always question authority. So like, I just know that I'm not going to be able to handle it. I know me. Yeah. And I know I can't do it. So, and I like stuff. So
the stuff is a big thing. You know what I mean? Of like, how you going to balance everything. Yeah.
So I can't do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Fuck so, kids. I mean, it's just, that's why I don't want it. They just don't think correctly.
But you eventually cross the threshold where you can play games with them and hang out and take them to cool shit.
Why do you want to play games with them? That's just more. Have you ever tried to play a game with like an 8-year-old?
No, not. I mean, they're crossing the line where they're cool. Yeah, you're gonna have kids too.
That's right.
Come talk on the microphone.
Just real quick, I just want to say, dumb kids are dumb kids.
Yeah, dumb kids are dumb kids.
I have nothing else to add, but dumb kids are dumb kids. Can I talk to you for 2 minutes over there? Let's just let them go crazy. They can have their own show.
Right.
Get out of here.
Don't switch topics.
It's appropriate.
We're not going to switch topics because I actually want to bring something up that I see over there. Tell me, A-Rod, what you got before I get in
Take it away.
Okay, so You know, we're talking about dumb kid stories. I got 2 quick ones for you. You can be a dumb kid even into your teenage years. All right, let me paint a picture for you.
Or 30s.
Snowbike Mike loved smoking the Mary Jane. All right, but never liked to have mom and dad ever find out about it. So I kept all of it in my car.
Oh, nice.
Now you know what happens when you turn 16. Mom and dad, they might give you a car, but sometimes they want to use it. Sometimes they think, hey, that's not your car, young Michael. Well, I would always keep all the windows up, everything locked up. One morning, my dad wakes me up. It's like 2 a.m. Mike, your car horn is going off. Give me the keys. Let me turn it off. No, Big Mike, I got this. Immediately jump up butt naked because I did not want Big Mike to find my stash.
Oh, no.
Wow. Ran down the stairs like this. Just, oh my God. Alarm is going off. I'm ripping things out. Big Mike's looking at me butt naked like, come on, boy, figure your life out. And I'm like, please don't get me.
I was going to say, that sounded good.
But now that Greg is here, I have one more. Looking at that WWF No Mercy.
There it is.
When we think of kids in my childhood, my little brother and I grew up with the N64 and wrestling games like this. And I will never forget the rage that we had whenever each one of us would lose or somebody would cheat and just punch you over and over again. So Jackson figured out that he could just punch me himself. One day we're playing it. I'm undertaking him. I'm killing him, right? He takes the N64 cord. He starts whipping me with it. He's got me strangled. So, have you ever had any of those rage out moments with WWF games like that?
The closest I would have, well, I guess there's a few. But I remember distinctly once my mom was doing laundry and I was in the basement playing games and like she was getting stuff and something happened in the game. I was like, damn it. Or like, and she's like, what was that? I'm like, nothing. Not that at all. She was like, damn right, nothing. And kept walking on. And the one I think of though is in college, in freshman year, so 2001, 2002, in the dorm I went to Mizzou, I knew nobody. And that first week of class, I shut the dorm room door and started walking down the hall and I stopped. Because I heard PlayStation 1, SmackDown 2 noises. Like I heard the menu. And so I ran room to room trying to find it. And I finally threw open this door and it was my friend, my soon-to-be friend, John. I'm like, you like wrestling? I like wrestling. Do you watch Raw? We should watch Raw. He's like, all right. And I had blue hair at the time, mind you. Blue hair and this shirt.
He's like Coke.
Exactly. He's like, all right, fine. And so we played nonstop with that. And he had this character. He had his creative character. I had my creative character. His character was Johnny Circumstance, right? Who, I'm trying to think of what. He was
missed opportunity.
He was a high flyer.
Should have been Johnny Circumcised.
No, that's gross.
Fantastic.
This is funny. He was serious about this character. He tried to make it look like him. The character had a way bigger afro than he ever did. But anyways, I digress. But he did all these fucking crazy, stupid high flying moves. And in SmackDown 2, that would fill your meter so quickly. So he was always doing the shit and landing it and then doing his finishers. And so we were playing this game, and it was PlayStation 2 or no PlayStation 1. Right, I hadn't the PlayStation 2 yet. And we're sitting there playing it, and he kept doing this shit, And I had a bad day or whatever, class 2, and I was like, fucking goddamn it. I'm sitting on the floor, and I slammed my controller down on the ground, and it split the base of the DualShock over here. So, like, the rumbler was exposed and all this shit. And I went on to win the match. But I was still pretty pissed that I was fucking all this damn high-flying bullshit garbage going on. But no, I never had little brothers, or I didn't have any siblings, so I never got into the, I'm gonna whip you, I'm gonna beat you up here or whatever.
Oh, it happened a lot.
Man, me and my brother, we had like wars because one, we shared a room like all through our childhood, and like at some points, like we were like exactly alike. So like if we tick each other off, we know just the way to just really piss each other off, and we would just fight and fight and fight. Typically, neither of us would win because at that point either one of my parents would just come in and just kick both our asses. Yeah. But like up until then, like we're breaking shit. Like we've broken beds, we've broken TVs, we've broken dressers, like windows, all that fun shit. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. You know what I mean?
Digress.
And that was the thing is like I had cousins who were close in age that we'd go over to their house and they were holy terrors. And they like fucking into shit and all this other crap and like they'd fight like that or whatever. But then it was like, all right, just bounce out, see you later. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and it was the same thing in high school, one of our guys, Mike, had a little brother. And like he was still like I don't know why I pointed at you like Mike.
Yeah,
Mike's brother.
my God.
But you're talking about age differences. I want to say maybe he was 6 or 7 or whatever when we're like freshman year of high school or whatever. So like it would be that thing where he'd want to hang out with us so desperately, and we'd be like, all right, and then we just do wrestling moves to him nonstop, like just fucking power bombs on beds and stuff. And it was always the thing that he'd be having a great time until Mike wanted to go a little too hard. You know what I mean? And then he's bawling, and it's like, don't tell mom or whatever. Or he'd like power bomb, and he'd bounce off the bed onto the floor and shit. And it's just like, these are the things, you can't leave any of these people unsupervised. Yeah. All the dumb shit me and my stupid friends got into during summers. It's like, well, go out there and do it. And soon enough, you're in the fucking back of a forest preserve. Nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, funny you should say cousins, because I have, since my mom comes from a family of 8 and my dad comes from a family of 8, we had a shit ton of cousins.
Sure.
And we used to have like mass brawls. Like at like
it's like gang warfare.
Yeah, gang warfare with like me and my brother, and then like 2 other cousins, and like a few other mothers, and then like we would have like little wars around the neighborhood, and then like we just fight and get all dirty and filthy.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that we did was, so me and my brother, we would just like practice karate for like no reason.
Sure.
Like we watch the next Jackie Chan movie and we're like, let's do all of that shit.
Yeah.
Or Ninja Turtles, and then we just start fighting and stuff. And my sister, being the youngest, or my youngest sister, she would, I want to play too, because she was just bored. And we're like, are you sure? Because you're going to tell, aren't you? She's like, no. And immediately, first and last time she ever tried to participate, my brother just sidekicks her into a closet. And then she runs and tells the parents, or my mom, and then she's like, and then my mom was just like, well, just don't go down there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what they're doing. They're fighting.
Yeah, no.
Well, before we move on, I got 2 seminal Mike Doe stories.
This is what I want to hear. Some Mike Doe stories.
All right. Well, one of them was, in middle school, I was a bit of a pyromaniac. I really liked fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
And me and my friend Matt would always light shit on fire.
Sure.
So one time, we would film it on our Razor. Our Verizon Razor.
Oh, your Motorola Razor phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, you're young. Fuck.
Yeah. And so one time I was like, oh, this would be like, let's light gasoline on fire. Like that's a good idea.
Yeah,
this is a good thing that like normal people do. So we got a can of like Coke, and we lit the gasoline, put gasoline in it, lit it on fire. And I was like, oh, to put out the fire, I'll just get a bucket of water, and I'll just drop the can of Coke in the water.
Oh,
That'll
wow.
be fine. Put it right out.
Oh, wow.
And it got hot, and I dropped the can of Coke. I was like, okay, that's done with. Gasoline lights water on fire.
Yeah.
And it was in a plastic bucket. And so the plastic bucket started melting. So it was slow. It was like we had to like get dirt to like try to put it out. And
Is this in a yard?
Melting. Yeah.
Okay.
It was right below our deck. It was like the deck.
Jesus
it was
God,
like the
Mike.
gas fire. And we were trying to throw like dirt on it because we had it's time constraint because the bucket was melting slowly. So it got to the point so it starts spilling over, and then like the whole deck's on fire, and then we're fucked. We got it out in time.
Nice.
But it was a lot of
happy ending.
I feel like the fire thing's a normal kid thing. Yeah. Right? You're always fascinated by fire. Like it's just
me and my brother used to light paper on fire.
Yeah.
And then we also tried to like smoke cigarettes, but we didn't know that you had to inhale, so we were just lighting it.
We're doing it. We're the oldest school kids.
Yeah. I just remember like the heart racing, me like, fuck, put the shit out. We're gonna burn down the whole house.
Yeah.
And like,
similar. Cause I want to hear your second one too.
Well,
no, go ahead. What do you?
Well, and then the second one was just like me and my best friend at the time. We were really into the same girl.
Yeah, you were.
It was the same girl. And we're like, man, like we were like plotting, like, man, how can we get like her attention? Like, we're just dumb nerdy kids. Yeah.
Hey, you remember that? You remember that time we had that plastic bucket and a cocaine full of gasoline? That would work. Go to her deck.
So we were like, man, what? Like we just need to get her to notice her. So I like came up with this brilliant idea. I was like, look, Harrison's like a little weirder than us. I bet you we can talk him in to like just following her around all day, but just like not saying anything to her. So this is like middle school. This is like a plan I thought worked. And then eventually like come in and like, hey, like stop following her. Like,
nice.
Blah, blah, blah.
Back to the Future move. Yeah, okay.
That part never came in. So like for a full day, this kid.
Did you just forget about it?
Yeah. And this kid just followed like this girl that we like were like in love with. Like we were like in love with her around like the whole day. Didn't say anything. Just like hands in the pocket. Just like kind of like 10 feet away from her and like wherever she go, just go. And like.
Did she notice?
I never talk. I want to talk to I want to like hit her up and
put her on a podcast.
Do you ever remember this? Because this is the thing. Because it
turns out she's like changed her name. Like all of a sudden she's like, I'll never be found by this kid.
He's still behind
you still haven't told Harrison that it's a joke. Like he's been doing it for 30 years.
It happened at like that. Like in the morning we came up with the idea. And then, so it happened. And then at lunch we're like, is Harrison still doing that? Like, oh yeah, we should probably do something about that. And then like at the end of the day, we like completely forgot about it, and we were getting on the bus, and there's Harrison just following her onto the bus.
And did you make your move?
No, it was too late. It was the end of the day, and then the next
It was
day,
the end
didn't
of the
happen.
day. Time
So it
limit
was
is
just
up.
like that happened for a day.
Gotcha.
Like that was just something that happened for the day.
All right.
Dumb junior high story, and I can't remember if we ever told it on this story, but it shows like just the no cognitive reasoning ability of a child or a 10-year-old or whatever. In the way that we were at this is a different Mike. We were at his house, and his parents in Illinois, fireworks are illegal, but 4th of July had come and gone, and they had brought back a bunch of fireworks from Indiana or whatever, and they had all these fireworks, and we were like, fuck, we should set it was a sleepover. We should set those off tonight. And he was like, yeah, we should. And so we set, like, we didn't, how these sleepovers, you just don't sleep, which is another dumb fucking move. But like 3 a.m, we were like, all right, let's go off and set all these fireworks off in this neighborhood, a suburb of Chicago. Like, it's not in the middle of nowhere at all. It's like houses are not right next to each other like San Francisco, but like next to
Close
each
enough.
other. So we got a PVC pipe and we're out there firing bottle rockets off and these things and the spinners and all this shit. And like we're doing this forever and ever and ever. And finally, our other friend Eric was like, now you know what we should do. I gotta poop. I'll go poop in a bag. We'll light that on fire and like have somebody stomp it up. And we're like, all right,
Classic
yeah.
TV
Yeah,
mode.
exactly. It's totally a Happy Gilmore thing. Like, all right, cool, yeah. Or not. It wasn't Happy Gilmore. Don't put it out with your boots. No, Billy Madison. Don't listen to me, devil woman. So we were like, all right, cool. And he went off to do that. And it was me, Mike, and I believe somebody else. And we were sitting in a neighbor's yard. Just sitting in their yard,
God, no.
just chilling out, just bullshitting around, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like, poof, the mag light came on Mike. And it was an adult. He's like, what are you fucking doing in my yard? And he was like, the fireworks had woken him up, of course. Us morons sitting in his yard. And it was like, it's summertime. I'm sure his windows were open.
Yeah.
And like, none of these possible, hey, this could be a problem. Like this, we all thought we were just fucking around, and like there was like no way anybody's getting in trouble for any of this shit.
No.
And he had the flashlight. Oh, he had a flashlight on the other guy, maybe me. And then Mike was like, "I'm sorry," and the guy got so spooked. Like if the guy had a gun, he would have shot.
Oh, damn.
And he turned this way because like he didn't even see the third kid in the grass. And so he's like, "Get the hell out of here!" Like got out, like walked in. And we came up to this kid with a poop bag. We're like, "Yo, just keep going. Stop. Just go away. It's over. Joke's over."
Oh,
Kids
that's
are super
that's
stupid.
So dumb.
Yeah.
But I hope by telling them my stupid stories, I'll be able to keep my kids from being stupid. Because it'll,
Well, you just look forward to their stupid stories. It's
sure.
gonna be a beautiful
But
cycle.
that's always a fun thing
As
of
long as
telling
you're
your
alive.
parents the fun, stupid stories that they don't know about.
Oh,
When
yeah.
like the statute of limitations on getting in trouble is way over with.
Yeah, it's always heartbreaking. It's just the disappointment.
How many
It's like,
times
no,
we almost died? Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. Wait, you were driving the Ford Taurus how fast through the neighborhood?
Exactly.
Spun
Idiots.
how many times?
Exactly. You know the story. Thanks for watching, everybody. Click here to subscribe. Click here to see a playlist of other videos. Click here to go to our Patreon page. And click here to go to the Vortex of Darkness. I don't know what it is.